Say you want to find the right cut settings for your sticker sheets. You know, the ones that you print out and you carefully laminate. But there's a problem. Xtool doesn't list the option for sticker paper covered in laminate. So what are you supposed to use? You can take a guess and try some of the available options for vinyl or heavy paper, but that doesn't give you the results that you want. But what if I told you there was a simple way to find the perfect setting for cutting your stickers? And it's super easy to implement. And today, I'm going to show you how. Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is my studio. So last week, I mentioned the new addition to my studio, which is the M1 Ultra, and how one of my favorite features is the fact that I have full control over pressure, speed, and cut passes when I'm wanting to cut materials. That means I can dial in the perfect settings that I need rather than scrolling through an endless list and just taking a guess on what might work. But with that control comes full responsibility. In order to find my perfect settings, I need to test multiple combinations to find the perfect one. Fortunately, Xtool Creative Space makes this easy to do. So let me show you how to create a material test array for cutting stickers. But you can use this concept for any material and other methods, such as foiling or even laser engraving. Now, I saw a video recently that brought up the concept of the 70-30 rule. When creating test arrays, the first goal is to get about 70% of your target results first, and then work and tailor things to get you that final 30%. The idea is that you're trying to find a value that's pretty close to the result you want. In this case, achieving a decently clean cut, whether we're working on a die cut or a kiss cut. And then after that, we can fine tune the cut settings a little more if necessary, perhaps trying to see if we can get the same result by cutting at a faster speed by adjusting the pressure. So keep that in mind when you're creating a test array. Find a setting that achieves what you want and by doing some broader testing, and then go back and fine tune based on your results if needed. And depending on your material and whether or not you have a general idea of what range you want to test, you might have to cast a broad net. I recommend seeing if there's a similar material that gives you a good starting point for your test array and trying to test both slower and less pressure to more and faster pressure around that general guideline. Let's go over to the Creative Space software and I'll show you what I mean. I start by launching the Xtool Creative Space and click the plus icon to open the new design. I make sure that my machine is selected and I have the mode set to blade mode. This is a setting that I sometimes forget to click, and I'm often clicking around looking for my previously saved settings, which I can't find, only to realize that I'm not in the right mode. Now let's set up a test array. Xtool has an easy generator to create a material test array using whatever shape you want to test. So if you wanted to create an array testing the shape of a star or maybe a cursive letter because that's problematic, you could totally test with that. But first I'm going to go over to the material selection and see if I can find some things similar to what I want to cut. I'll pick the self-adhesive vinyl, which as you can see, Xtool recommends the fine point blade for, and click confirm. Now I'm going to add the shape I want to cut. I'm just going to use a rectangle and add a little bit of curve to the corners. You'll notice on the right side in the cut settings, it lists a recommended cut pressure and speed and number of passes. For vinyl, Xtool recommends 80 grams of pressure at 80 millimeters a second with only one pass. So odds are the settings I need for my laminated sticker paper is somewhere around here. I'll use it as kind of a center point in my test array. To create a test array, I need to have the shape I created selected, and then I'm going to click the 6 icon over here called Applications. When you click it, you'll see several options appear, and we're going to pick Material Test Array. This opens a new window, and it lets you set up a grid with our little shape. The X column is our various pressures, but for the Y rows, we can decide if we want to test the number of passes or we can test speed. I'm going to put my minimum and maximum values in, making sure that I cover these 80-80 values that are recommended. We can also control the spacing between the shape if you want to make the test array a little bit smaller. Once I have my values in, I click done. The results create this group of vectors. We're going to right click and ungroup them, and then I'm going to delete the title and labels, and then I'm going to select the numbers and turn them off as an output option. That way the machine doesn't try to cut them out. It's just a waste, and I can look at my screen to see which setting works. I'll load a piece of sticker paper with laminate into the machine, securing it to the mat, and I can move the test array to the top so that I have room to run additional tests. After that, I click process. I'll get a time for the length of the test and I'll send the job to run. Where do you find these? As you can see from these results, I have several options to choose from for a die cut. But since I'm all about faster runs, I'm going to opt for the fastest clean die cut, which is 125 grams of pressure at 100 millimeters a second. I can actually tap that square on my grid inside the software and see that the settings are loaded on the right. And if I click this little save icon here, it will let me name the settings and save it as a user preference. These settings are saved on my local computer, but I can push them to the cloud if I want, so I can download them onto other devices. Now, let's figure out the kiss cut settings. We're going to repeat the process, but this time I'm going to use smaller pressure numbers. I noticed in my test array that some squares weren't cut all the way through, so I think my perfect kiss cut setting is around these values. Again, I ungroup, remove the excess labeling, and turn off the numbers. Then I'm going to place the new test array below the old one. Don't forget to either move the old test array or turn off its output. That way the machine doesn't try to run it again. After this process, I find the value that creates a good kiss cut result without going into the backing. Again, I'm going to select this square in the test array and save the setting for future use. These settings give me the 70% results. I could go in and do test arrays with smaller ranges to achieve the remaining 30%, but I feel happy enough with these results for now, and I don't want to bore you guys with repeating the test arrays for a third and fourth time. Instead, let's run a real-time test with a sticker sheet set I made last year. I've lined up the cut patterns on the mat to match the sticker sheet in the machine. Then I'll assign the kiss cut setting to the stickers and the die cut setting to the border of the sheet to be cut out. I promise I'll go over aligning things in my next video, but for now, let's just make sure these cut settings work. I click process, and you see it's going to take about 3 minutes to cut. This is a lot faster than if I were to run the sheet on my Cricut, and I'm only doing it one pass without having to implement that attached layer hack. The results turned out perfect. The sticker settings worked beautifully. So that's how you can find the perfect settings for sticker cutting on the M1 Ultra. These work pretty consistently when you're using the same material, but keep in mind they may change over time as the blade gets dull. Wear and tear and age will always be something to factor in with your settings, whether you're cutting with a blade or with a laser. In fact, this material test array is a technique used all the time to figure out the perfect cut and engrave settings for all sorts of material. And you can repeat this process with any material you want to find the ideal settings you need, or if you're suddenly having problems because say maybe the blade's starting to get a little duller but you want to extend its use, you can run it again and adjust your settings accordingly. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button and lick the video to tell the algorithm that this is good content. If you get a chance to head over to my shop and browse my selection of items that I have available for sale, there's stickers, 3D printed bookmarks, and other designs that maybe you guys want a copy of. I hope to see you guys in another video. In the meantime, have a good day. Bye!